How long ago did you start?
About 2 years ago. I was at UF and I dropped out, started my agency, summer going into my sophomore year of college, and then I scaled it up like in a year. And then that's when I started doing agency and coaching, and then now I'm just full coaching. And it's going
Nice,
great, bro.
nice, nice, nice. So you stopped partying.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, when I dropped
Yeah.
out, dude, I cut everybody off, moved back away from Gainesville, back into my parents' house, and just was locked in. Like,
Bro, I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing, bro. I'm in FIU and my parents made me go to college, but essentially that's what I did. I moved back from Boston.
dude, I remember I would work like in my agency, I would work like 12, 14-hour days. And literally, like, the only thing I would do is I would wake up, I would immediately get to work. Like, I wouldn't, I wouldn't read
Work out,
books or
nothing?
anything. Like, I had a mentor and I knew exactly what I needed to do. I was doing cold DMs. Like,
Right.
that's just what worked for me. So,
Yeah.
and because I had a mentor that did it, and I was just doing it, and I was doing it, and I was doing it. I knew what to do. I would just work like crazy, and then I would go to the gym, and then I'd go home, and the only like social interaction I had was playing like some video games with my friends. That was what I did for a year, guys. Like that, that was it. And then I finally, went
I
outside
mean,
and
good for
touched
you.
grass.
That's fire, bro.
That's my current schedule, bro. Solitary confinement.
That's how it is, bro. Yeah,
bro.
You have
But
to.
hey, it's fulfilling, bro. If you like it, then I'm fine with it, bro. I'd rather do this than go out to bars and chase nothing every weekend.
One thing that helped me was understand, like when I was in that period of just grinding and like forcing it to work, was understanding that I, like, there was an end point to it. Because like, I'm a very social person. I like being with friends. I like being outside. I like doing things. And so when I was going through that period, it was just understanding, like, hey, Christian, one day I'm not going to have to do this anymore. What do you hate in your business? Do you hate making content? Do you hate sales calls? Do you hate serving? Like, what's that thing that you just like kind of pisses you off? I'm talking more like with departments. Like, I'll give you an example. I love making content. I love client acquisition. I don't really love backend operations, data.
I would say back then. Yeah, I like sales calls. I like onboarding them, but then just back end stuff for my
Yeah.
program.
And that's the example that I'm trying to give is like if backend sucks for you and you're taking a ton of onboarding calls and serving clients every week, it's just understanding like, hey, as long as I keep doing this, one day I'm gonna have a client success manager who's gonna do this all for me. So just understanding you have like that endpoint in the future helps you do it now, even though you don't enjoy it. If you haven't read this book, I would read Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Have you read it?
No.
It's solid, bro.
Heard of that?
Yeah, and he talks about hiring out everything else besides like your zone of genius. Like that thing that fires you up, you can just do that forever. And everything else you just outsource. And you buy back your time and then that's how you scale. 10x is better than 2x. That's a good one too.
The one thing when it comes to like getting an editor is like getting him super clear on your vision, like your authenticity and how you want to brand yourself. Because there's like a lot of flashy types of reels. I don't like doing those flashy types of reels. But some people have their own kind of branding styles. Make like a whole document. Okay, like this is the vision for my company, where I want to take it. This is why it's unique from other people in the space. And here are my certain characteristics that I want to portray for my business. Because it's a personal brand business, like people buy from people, not like logo specifically, let's say. So if you get that like super across to your editor, then it's gonna represent your content. You don't want to make it like unauthentic. My YouTube videos are pretty authentic. That's just because like that's how I am. Yeah, like don't be a different person on sales calls versus your content. You want to be like make it as fluid as possible. Seems like we got like a good 20 minutes. What else do you guys want to go over? Let's I feel like a good topic right now is like the more mindset stuff. I feel like everyone's like tapped in when you talk about mindset.
Mindset?
Believing that you're the person that can get to 20K a month. What do you think about that?
Do you guys believe you're worthy of your goals? What are your goals? Can you write it in the chat? Who wants to go? Okay, how much are you at right now?
I'm at about like six to seven per month. Haven't broken past 7.
Okay, so 6 to 7 per month, and you want to get to 20 by January. What's going to be different? Like, what needs to change between now and January to get it?
So before I helped fitness coaches, I used to be like a fitness creator myself. So all of my leads have came from coaches that I just knew. So it's so far all been organic, but I've just gone back and forth on like what content style I want to do, how the ad's going to look, everything like that. And I think now I'm leaning towards, Jeremy will understand this. You probably don't know him, but in his program, I want to replicate his sort of content. So I think implementing that content with my own clips, my own messages, stuff like that, and then running a follow ad or DM ad with that content. So just adding in paid, and then just focusing better VSLs, better YouTube to nurture, I think will be that catalyst to finally break past like 5 figures a month.
100%, dude. And I love how you brought up content. That's like the main thing I teach my guys. Like all of my clients, or majority, are just strictly running like a YouTube channel to get traffic and conversions. And so we speak very often about content and how it works. But I like that. Yeah. Just put the plan into action. That's something I do every quarter with my clients. I do this. So we set down, okay, what's your goal by the end of this quarter, by the end of the 3 months? And then we reverse engineer what needs to happen to get there. Like, what are the input? Those, what you guys just put in the chat, are output goals. And those aren't in your control. Like, you are not in control of getting to 20K, Alex. You are in control of the inputs you could do, which is to delay creating your ad because you're a perfectionist, to, you know, posting it this week versus posting it in December. Like, that's the stuff you can control. You can control how frequently and how often you message followers.
Yep.
And so just being on top of that and setting it down, like, break it down. You want 20K a month by January. What do you need to do this month to finish October? What do you need to do the following month? And then you break it down by week, bro. So I would say it applies to all you guys. Just reverse engineer it and figure out what you need to do this month, this week, and today to get there. That's what I do every single time.
Something along those lines. I was gonna ask everyone like to advice, like what looking back when you started to what you wish you would have known or done
Differently?
From raw
Yeah,
zero.
like if you like were starting from now and you could have told your old self that. Basically like advice to help me. It was the question.
Always stick to your word. The more you break your word, the harder it's going to be to do those main tasks. So always stick to your word and just accumulate micro wins. So like it's just saying, I'm going to make my bed and make your bed. I'm going to run 1 mile, run a mile, and then just making those bigger and bigger. So I would say sticking to your word and then just focusing on self-development.
That's like the foundation. Your commitments to yourself is like what brings you confidence. So if you don't stick to running a mile when you said you'd run a mile tomorrow, let's say, then what makes you think you're gonna make a really good piece of content? Because you're gonna feel shit about yourself. Like it's just gonna be like you're gonna be completely down about yourself. That's one thing I would say when I was first starting out. I'd say focus on learning more than like trying to make so much money from like day one. Learn as much as you can. It's weird because like skill is almost like it's like this, and then it goes down. Then you're like, okay, it's down, and then you go even more down, and then randomly you go like incredibly up. Like, whoa, what's going on? So during that time, like make sure just like understand like this is the point where most people fail when you're in that down moment. Because I had to, man, like there's one point where I had to like take a solo trip by myself to Big Bear just to figure out everything in my head. No business, just like figuring everything out. Then after that, I got so many new ideas about business, about like how I was gonna scale the business. I didn't even know if I wanted to do nomad consulting when I was on that trip. But like
I've done that.
Yeah, you got to go through those moments. So like when you're going through that, like understand like something big is about to happen, and it happens multiple times. You know, like I think it's just a test from God, to be honest.
He knows how to help you scale. You just gotta implement what he tells you to do.
Do it fast. I'd say like don't focus on perfection. Just do it fast. Like get your first 10 reels are gonna be so cringy. The 10 of everything. The 10 YouTube videos. The 10 sales calls. The 10 cold approaches, you know, like whatever it is, just get through the 10 and then it'll just naturally be able to
I
flow.
like that.
Yeah.
The 10. Yeah, that's what I would tell myself too, is like be okay with sucking. If you look at the first video on my channel, it sucks. But I was okay with it, and that's how I've been able to improve. If you look at my first sales call, it sucked. You want to tattoo this shit on your forehead? Get leads, book appointments, close appointments. If you could just do that, you're going to get to your goal, right? As simple as it sounds, when you say it like that, write that on a piece of paper and just keep it there. Get leads, book appointments, close appointments. And if you understand that's really all the input you have to do right now, then all the outside noise doesn't come in. You don't have to go build your website right now. You don't have to go hire an editor to clean it up and make it look all pretty.
Get an LLC.
You don't need to get an LLC right now. Just do that.
Do the stuff that you really don't want to do. If it is YouTube videos, like just blast it out right now, like right after this call. Like just get it over with. It's gonna suck. You're gonna hate it. When I was making YouTube content, it took me like 3 hours. It was like I was like up at 1 a.m. It took me 3 hours. I went to sleep at like 4 a.m. The video was like 13 minutes. That's how bad it was. I even I had like to take a glass of wine to make the video. Like that's how much it sucked. But you got to go through that. Now I can just make like 20, 30-minute videos without pausing it. So
I might have to do that, bro.
get some wine. You don't have to. I'm just kidding.
Like, what do you say helped you the most to like just working, right? Just doing it over and over.
Yeah, I'm trying to find another thing that is not that, but it really is just doing it. It's
Like a book, nothing. Yeah.
just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. Like you can get inspiration from certain people. Maybe there's like 2 or 3 people. There's a lot of entrepreneurs in the space. Like I like this one guy. I forgot William Brown. I like his content, so I like to emulate some stuff like that. But overall, like you can have so many ideas on YouTube, but just press record. It's the same thing with like service delivery. You try to like make it the best in the beginning when you have like 0 clients, when it's probably like not the best, and you get really good service delivery as you get clients, let's say. So it's just the reps. It's doing the imperfect action. That's like the biggest thing I've learned. That's like the first thing I've learned when I joined the coaching program. Like just do the imperfect actions. Yeah, and you figure it out as you go. Like one thing, like money motivates you, right? But like don't tie it to your identity, because when you hit like a record month and your identity is in money, like that Stripe screenshot and only being at that record month is when you can be happy. Like that's what you're basically saying to yourself if that's your identity. So don't tie your identity to like your record month Stripe screenshot. Tie your identity to the person that puts in the work every day to get to, let's say, your goals. So that's like how you actually reach that fulfillment, because I've felt that 100%. Like I felt like crap about myself by not hitting another record month the next month, but like I'm still making good income, and I sound like a freaking douche to other people if I say my problems, like, oh, I didn't do this, you know. But yeah, don't tie your identity to like money. Just tie your identity to the person that puts in the work every day.
I got something.
Yeah, go for it.
I think you guys will find this interesting, but when I started, so I told you guys in my agency I worked with realtors, right? I don't care about realtors, and like I really didn't want to like leave an impact and change these people's lives. The best way to really understand that money's not like the end all be all is to actually get the money. It's like when people say like you need, you know, the fancy cars and the mansion isn't going to make you happy. I think you kind of need to experience it yourself and get it to say like, oh shit, everybody was right. And so understand that even if you're not passionate about it, like I wasn't passionate about helping realtors, and I made a lot of money working with realtors because I just did the inputs. So I'm giving you guys like another perspective here, right? Where I believe when you're starting off, you're not in a place where you could say like, hey, how can I change the world right now? But you're in a place of just survival. And you just need to survive. You just need to, you know, make a couple $1,000s and just start getting by. And so to tell you, I don't think you can't make it with the niche that you're in, even if you don't freaking love these people and like you wouldn't take them out to dinner. But I think you're in a place of survival and just knowing where you're at. And maybe this is, you're in a spot where this is where you're just going to get started in business. You're going to make some money, and then you're going to realize like, hey, I actually don't love this at all, and I'm going to blow this thing up. But then once you do that, you'll make some money and you'll have more skills under your belt, and whatever else you pivot into, you're going to be able to crush it with. That's what I did. I went from working with realtors to now working with agency owners, guys my age that I love working with, right? And now I'm really focused on the impact, and I change people's lives. So that's just how it kind of happened to me.
I agree. Bro, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, guys. Well, let's get to work. Let's keep scaling. Let's have an amazing Sunday and Saturday. Keep me posted with everything. And yeah, we'll talk Friday.
Nice meeting you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
See you guys.
Appreciate you guys.